Hi guys, I'm live. How you guys doing? I just wanted to go live about something that I want to talk to you guys about. And I rested my hands this morning and today, and stuff. So I didn't do much playing this morning and recording recording videos this morning. I just wanted to rest my hands. It's not good to do something 24/7. And then sometimes you need a break and just rest. So I'm resting my hands today. So that's why I haven't done any shorts or anything today. But I want to talk about something else that is musical that I can talk about without having a guitar in my hand. And that is, I think I just got my head around jazz today. And first thing I want to say about that is it helped that I went through all my CDs on my tour of my CD collection last night, because it even made it clear to me what I have, because I haven't gone through it in a while. And I went through some of my jazz and classical, and that kind of might have sparked this idea that helped me think about jazz today. So I got my head around jazz. That's really cool. I'd like to share what I have my head around and how I see it, and maybe that'll make a little instruction thing out of this. What do you guys think? Let's see what you guys think. Okay. So John Mehagan, Mehegan, wrote a book called Jazz Improvisation, Tonal and Rhythmic Principles, and he laid it all out there too. And Jeff Berlin, the great, said that even if you don't learn from everything, and let's get started. So jazz uses diatonic scales, but often all 12 notes, because the harmonies are so complex and the music is so dissonant that often you just play any note you want, as far as any of the 12 notes will do a lot of the time. So, and then John brings that out in his book too. It's actually a chromatic scale you're working with in the end. But the main harmonies are based on major scales, diatonic major scales. Usually not minor scales, harmonic minor, all that. That's mostly a classical thing. And usually not pentatonic scales, because that's just not enough notes. So basically you're working with a major scale, and often all the notes in between as well. It's another harmony, and remember, harmony can be harmonic. It can be played all the notes at once, which is a chord, or it can be played the notes one at a time, which is an arpeggio. So when I say harmony, I mean chord or arpeggio. And so and I'm going to get to it here. The main harmonies for jazz are 4-note chords. Since chords are structured from the root up and in thirds, the general formula for a 7th chord or 4-note chord is 1, 3, 5, 7. So those are your 4 notes, and it's the 1, 3, 5, and 7 notes of whatever mode you're in based on the root you start with. And there's 3 types of 7th chords in jazz that have perfect fifth, have a perfect fifth above the root, and that would be the major 7th chord, the minor 7th chord, and the dominant 7th chord. And the other 2 often used 7th chords in jazz are the diminished 7th chord, which has a flat. We'll go on to about it later, and the half diminished or minor 7 flat 5 chord. I think it makes more sense to call that one the minor 7 flat 5 chord, technically minor 7th flat 5 chord, because if you say half diminished, I'm not sure what half is diminished and what half is not. It's a very obscure, weird term. But those are the 5 primary 7th chords in jazz. And John brings out in his book that since you have all 12 notes possible, and you have 5 different kinds of 7th chord on each of the notes that you can do, you actually have 12 times 5, which is 60 chords to work with, and all 12 notes to play over them. So basically, John breaks it down in his book that jazz is a 60 chord system played along with a chromatic line. So it sounds really simple, but there's a lot of discretion there, and styles and up to your taste, that makes it not just as easy as that sounds. Just saying you can play any note doesn't mean no matter what you play it'll sound good. It just means that all the notes are possible. And so now I'd like to go into more detail about what hit me today that I got my head around. I got my head around the interval structures of all those 5 seventh chords. So I'd like to go over it with you today, and then that might be the whole video. So let's start with the minor 7th chord. There's three minor 7th chords in a major scale. If you're in C major, the minor 7th chords are G minor 7th, E minor 7th, and A minor 7th. And a minor 7th chord is arpeggio, is starting with a root, and up from there you have a minor third, a major third, and a minor third, and then the remainder is a whole step before you get to the next, you get to the octave of the root. So if you think minor third, major third, minor third, from wherever you are, you have a minor 7th chord. The next 7th chord I'd like to talk about is a major 7th chord. If you're in C major, the major 7th chords are C major 7th and F major 7th. The interval structure for a major 7th chord from the root up is a major third, minor third, major third. So there you have it. You have a major third from the root, a minor third, and a major third, and then there's a half step to complete the octave of the root below. And then thirdly, there's the dominant 7th chord. There's only one dominant 7th chord in the key of C major. There's only one dominant 7th chord, and that is G 7th. And since G is a dominant note in the key of C, it's called the G dominant 7th, or just simply better put, just G 7th. Or a 7th chord from the root up is a major third, minor third, minor third, and then the remainder is a whole step to get to the octave of the root. So whole step, major third, minor third, minor third. That's the formula for a dominant 7th chord. There's 2 more to go. The minor 7 flat 5 chord is just like it sounds. It's a minor 7th chord is a minor third, major third, minor third. So a minor 7 flat 5 chord is a minor third, and a major third, and the whole step completes the octave. So minor third, major third. That's a minor 7 flat 5. Finally, the diminished 7th chord. That's all minor thirds. So it's minor third, and then the minor third. Then actually, technically it's an augmented second that completes the octave. You don't really have 4 minor thirds in one octave. That would make it the ninth. That would make the octave a ninth note rather than the 8th, which 8 octave means 8. So technically, it's a minor third, augmented second. So there you have it. So from any root, you go minor third, then the augmented second above that completes the octave, and then that's diminished 7th chord arpeggio, and then you just play any of those 5 7th chords or arpeggios over any of the 12 possible notes as a root, and then when you play them, you play any of the notes of a chromatic scale over those chords. So that's basically jazz in a nutshell. It hit me today, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So love you guys, peace, rock and roll.